The Super Eagles have landed in Kano after spending over 11 hours stranded in Libya. The players, coach and technical crew, we understand, were left stranded without food, Wi-Fi and hotel accommodation. We'll be talking to our reporters covering that story shortly for more updates. Ibrahim Issa is standing by from Kano, where we understand that the players, coach and technical crew have just landed. Ibrahim, talk to us about what you saw and the conversations that is happening there.
Well, if you can hear me audibly, they have touched down a few moments ago, and we are currently in the terminal, and we couldn't have access to where the contingents are currently. We learned that a lot of protocols are currently ongoing, so we couldn't have the chance to speak to them. But we learned that the flight was about 4 hours from Libya, airport in Libya, down to Aminu Kano International Airport. We are currently having discussions. If we have access to the contingents, we'll definitely speak to them after having to wait for a long time at the airport in Libya before coming down to Aminu Kano International Airport, where we are right now.
Ibrahim, are you privy to any plans on the part of government to receive the players and crew in Kano?
Well, they have just touched down, and we are not aware of any of such plans, but there are currently some plans by the security and some other people that are expected to most likely take them to their destination. We are not sure of that yet. We are also hearing that they may likely move to Abuja from here. So we couldn't establish what the truth is about their movement from where they are currently right now. But as soon as we do, we definitely disseminate it out there to the people to know the current situation of the players. But they are currently where I can't see them, but they are currently not far away from where I am. And as soon as we have access to them, we will definitely get in touch with them, speak to them, and know what is their next plan.
Ibrahim is live for us in Kano, where the Super Eagles have just touched down. He hasn't seen them yet, but we are hoping that you're also going to be able to have some conversation in a short while. We'll get back to you for more updates. Ibrahim, let's get to Abuja, where Francis is standing by. The players are expected to touch down in Abuja from Kano. Is that something you can confirm to us, James? Well, meanwhile, earlier today, we'll get back to James shortly, the chairman and CEO, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Eriwa, has condemned the treatment meted out to the Super Eagles team by Libya authorities ahead of its second leg match slated for Tuesday in the country. Describing the action as despicable, Mrs. Dabiri-Eriwa stated that traveling by road in Libya is most dangerous and totally not advisable because of the current situation in the country. She said the safety of Nigerian players is paramount to the country and was optimistic that the Minister of Sports and the NFF will advise appropriately, while calling on CAF to take a serious action to avoid a repeat of such incident. Also, the former governor of Abia State, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, has condemned the action of Libyan authorities. Senator Kalu calls on CAF to sanction Libya for treating the Super Eagles with such disdain and disregard, believing that the strategy was to frustrate the Super Eagles and dissipate their enthusiasm ahead of the match. Sports correspondent Jane Francis is live at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. She joins me now. James, are we expecting the players to touch down there from Kano? James, can you confirm?
Yes, of course, the Super Eagles are already in Kano. They've touched down. The team is doing their first immigration clearance. The players have touched down at the Kano International Airport presently. I've spoken with the media officer of the team before joining you live at Nifemi. So yes, the team are on ground in Kano.
Indeed, James, the Libya Football Association reportedly released an apology some hours ago, James. Is it clear what their explanation was, especially why the flight originally headed to Benghazi was diverted to Al Abrak Airport?
Well, I wouldn't really call what the Libyan Federation released that an apology. Neither is it an explanation. I think they were trying to give us reason why Nigeria is experiencing what they're experiencing, because they still cited, that their contingent also had a similar experience, which is totally not true. Their problem was self-orchestrated. They were the ones who decided not to communicate the NFF about their flight itinerary, and also did not talk about the airport where they will be landing. So the NFF made a contingent plan for you. So, I mean, they can't say they experienced the same thing. And they ended up also saying that it's a general issue that flights could be diverted for various reasons, weather, security concerns, and all that. But they did not particularly say that they diverted the flight for weather reasons or for any other. So they were just giving a general explanation while Nigeria, is going through that, which for all you can understand is that they're trying to claim that it's a retaliation or a revenge for what their team experienced in Nigeria, which is not the fault of Nigeria Football Federation.
Well, we probably will see an investigation into allegations of sabotage and intent to frustrate and weary the team ahead of the match. Jane Francis, if you can hear me, but what does this mean for the qualifiers going forward, considering that there's a calendar they are working with?
CAF have actually...
Some difficulty.
Come again, what does this mean to...
What does this mean for the qualifiers going forward, given that they are working with a calendar? Jane Francis.
Well, if you're clear cut at this point, yes, CAF has released a statement saying it would, do investigations to find out the disciplinary actions to take. They also said that they were going to punish, any of the parties have contravened CAF rules, CAF structures and rules, and that puts us in a very delicate situation because the CAF president actually tried to intervene and was insisting that Nigeria should play the game. Now, according to CAF rules, you have to play a game. So if we cite the 2021 case of Gabon and Gambia, where the Gabon players were also kept at the airport for upward of 7 hours before they were allowed into Gambia. They eventually played that game and lost before CAF awarded them the 3 points. But in this case, CAF tried to meddle and even offered logistics, but our players, were feeling very unsafe because this was beyond dark arts of football. If you're going to keep a team at the airport for upwards of 15 hours with no access to food, internet, water, they felt like what would actually happen when we get inside Benghazi. And so the players refused to play, even though you would assume that the federation were still ready to play, because it was just the players who said that they weren't going to play the game anymore because they're not feeling safe. So now we don't know what CAF is going to rule that on. But on all grounds, Nigeria did not deserve the treatment they got from Libya. And we're hoping that CAF Disciplinary Committee will be lenient and very fair in investigating and making decisions on this, because it could mean, it could have very dicey implications for Nigeria in the qualifiers going forward.
Jane Francis live for us at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, where Super Eagles and the crew are expected to touch down. By the way, they are currently at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. They arrived a few minutes ago from Libya. Thank you, Jane Francis, for the updates there. In part 2, after the break, we'll take a look